we're definitely gonna play Runic Avalanche at some time this week. I plan to hit all of the major funsies. Yeah, Sand's great, right? It's got Syzygy on one, it's got a couple ice in it. Ice, baby. Boo doo 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 doo. Ice, baby. Pew, pew, pew. Oh, it's probably hidden on my TCG browser because it's a new deck I put together yesterday. I will go unhide it now. And if you're not around, it will always go up on my YouTube channel after the fact. So if you miss any of my streams, you can always find them there. The Ardent deck is now unhidden on my YouTube. Or on my, sorry, not my YouTube, on my, God, I've best tried to figure out what I'm plugging here. It's now unhidden on my thingamahoots. So I played the Syzygy here. The question now is, do I want to... I think I'm actually going to play this Well of Cunning out for Sapphire because I want to be able to Hearts Whisper. And I want to be able to Runebind this in response to a Runear so they don't go super wide here. Yeah, they add new champions to Hex every set release, Pimped Up Monk. Now my future Runebinds are free. Just denying them value off of this. This isn't like Runear denied, but that's pretty good. So... play this out for blood. I'm not going to need to Lullaby next turn. Might just, like, caress their dome. Yep, the champs are specific to the set. So, like, when set 8 happens and sets 3 and 4 rotate out, the champions from sets 3 and set 4 will rotate. Actually, this champion here will rotate out. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and Violet's Caress their dome here. I'm gonna go ahead and Hearts Whisper here, choose non-resource. Double Runebind is amazing because they're free. I'll put another resource on top of my deck, back to my champ power, put these two back in my deck. Because again, Syzygy makes my stuff cost one less when I play it out. Sure, you're going wide. And again, in decks like this, you mostly only want to Lullaby lethal attacks. So if an attack's not lethal, we're not really worried about Lullabying it. If we had a non-slow Shard next turn, I Fate Weave to Shard to the top. And if we had a non-slow Shard, we're going to pass with Bounty plus Lullaby up because these attacks are starting to be lethal. We hit a slow Shard, which kind of sucks. I'm going to go ahead and gain a charge off of this. I'm going to put Thunderfield Seer into play here. The question now becomes, can I prevent this attack from being lethal through the use of Runebind? I might be able to. They're probably going to sacrifice this guy to make the Carnal Demon at end step here. Oh no, what did they put that on? They put on the same one? That was a punt on my part, so I should have Runebound this in response. Should have Runebound that in response. That was a mistake, I was clicking too quickly. They'd be down to 6-6 right now if I'd have Runebound their thing in response. I can still use Runebind to not die this turn though, right? I can block here, Runebind these two. Yeah, so I block here. I Runebind these two and they take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They could sacrifice it in response to Runebind, but if I Runebind in response to the demon trigger targeting it, they wouldn't have gotten a second Carnal Demon here, which is relevant. If they have Culmination and Blood, we're just going to lose the game, which is unfortunate. This draws a card, but more importantly, it makes future bounties cost 1 less. It's a tilt. Hey, that's not a tilt. Put these Runebinds back into my deck here. I'm going to go ahead and Fate Weave a non-resource to the top. I'm going to go ahead and bounty the Magus. Hitting a Runebind is good because it means we don't die to Culmination. That's a great Runebind. Gives us 1 more draw at finding a Lullaby for next turn as well. So we get to Lullaby this attack this turn. Hitting a lot of resources here, which feels a little bit bad, but, you know, sometimes you brick. Sure. Your attack went from already being lethal to being even more lethal. Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, opponent's board now. If we draw Bounty of the Magus, there's a non-zero chance we combo off next turn. We don't draw a Lullaby or a Bounty of the Magus. If we don't draw a Lullaby, we need to combo or draw a Lullaby. Those are our 2 options right now. I think they're probably sacrificing enough stuff to Culmination me here, so let's Runebind that so I get to keep my hand. Alright, we got 1 shot. Alright, that's a redraw. Let's put this Runebind and this Lullaby back into my deck. And then let's play this Thunderfield Seer out. So we prophesize onto something. Let's play this Arcane Focus, and hopefully they brick on a Shard next turn. Take that Soothsaying. This, draw 2, discard 1. Draw an extra 1. Alright, I can still play a resource for the turn. Let's start with Arcane Focus. Remember, my Lullabies currently cost 1. Focus lets me look at another card. We found Bounty, we could still potentially combo this turn. Another Syzygy, that's not particularly exciting. I'm actually just going to take the Shard here for now. And then this could find me a Lullaby, because they do only cost 1. Then we need them to not draw a resource and trigger this. And we bricked and died. It's unfortunate. That's why the Storm deck definitely has a failure rate. Put a Sweet Sleeve on this deck. Where are my Sweet Sleeves at? Into the Unknown Sleeve. Let's put that one on there. Better battle board than what we have too. Change it up. This is definitely a Dread End matchup. This is a Soothsaying out matchup. This might be a Soothsaying out matchup. Maybe Theorize out. I could have Caress and 2 Theorize. That. I don't really like Gaze. It's good against like exactly Culmination, and I'd rather just try and like Runebind that and then combo through it. Where are my time walks? Yep. Where's Mastery of Time now, please? Huh. Real question. Is Caress better than the win condition we've been playing in the Immortal version of this deck? Assuming we get more Immortal support at some point, that's going to be a question we're going to have to ask myself. Syzygy, Shard of Cunning here. Blood Threshold. This Primal Prism can get us the wild if we need it. Let's see what we draw next turn. Hopefully we draw a non-slow shard so we could start hitting these 3s. Yes. Perfect. I'll take this Well of Instinct. I'll play this out for a charge. That's the turn. The Immortal version, there's a couple different ways you can win. One of them wins via Psychic. You can win via Psychic Ascension. You can also win via Scheme and Zodiac Divination, making your opponent draw their entire deck. The Immortal version is just delicious. It's actually Rage Quit, very close. Yep. You can literally take an arbitrarily large number of turns with the deck by, like, using Scheme and Mastery of Time to just, like, continue, like, making your deck all Mastery of Times. And then eventually, once you've put an arbitrarily large amount of turns into your deck, you make, what's the word I'm searching for? You, make your opponent draw a bunch of cards. And by draw a bunch, I mean their entire deck. I'm gonna put a non-resource on top of my deck here and just go ahead and bounty for the turn. That's fair, Bob. Lose some consistency because of that. You should look up the deck on my YouTube channel. We played it back when before a couple of the Hex Primal Immortal Championships. It's really actually top 8 of the first Hex Primal Immortal Championship playing the deck. A lot of fun. Second, Syzygy. Yeah, I'm in for that. Let's do that. Into this, into Soothsaying. No, you don't play Arcane Soil. You want to actually kill them. Next Soothsaying we draw is going to be really good. Let's put this Soothsaying and this Focus back in my deck. I don't actually have anything that draws more cards. This technically draws a card, I guess, but like nothing else is particularly impressive. They have a bunch of Culmination of Bloods in their hand. Hero Fall, my Seer. Well, the fact that there's still Hero Falls, and I'm really glad that I ditched that Seer. Holy moly. This is just going to die next turn. Unless they want to sacrifice us to get no value out of it. Oh, they're just going to drain it there. That makes sense. Alright, so something that we can do that's really small to kind of prevent ourselves from getting blown out. Let's put these troops back into our deck to make their culminations cost 2 more. I might just cycle this Lullaby this turn, honestly. It's only gaining us 3, but like, I really kind of want to draw a card here. And like, if we hit the nut, it makes this Lullaby free down the line too, which is valuable. Alright, also makes that one free. Hopefully we draw a card that draws a card. Perfect. And this is the one that we got Winter Moon, so it's going to draw 2 cards. I would love this Heart's Whisper. I'm going to go ahead and enchant power and put these 2 back into my deck. And then Heart's Whisper for a non-resource. Alright, there's Thunderfield Seer. That is not the one that's been prophesized. Can you put more fogs in this deck? So, because there's Culmination of Blood in their deck, I'm actually just going to use these Lullabies kind of aggressively. I know I kind of preach, like, don't Lullaby non-lethal attacks, but, like, because I have 3 of them, I kind of want to get them out of my hand. This also means if I hit a resource next turn, I can champ power. That's gross. So they're going to gain 5 and draw 3 here. Bounty of the Magus, please. Something that draws cards. Alright, well, we can empower this, which means it's going to draw 4 cards and discard 2. And then draw an extra card because it's prophesized from this. So, I'm going to bin a Violet's Caress for now, and that. Theorize, perfect. Let's go ahead and do this. Grab a second Blood. I'm going to go ahead and champ power and put Empowered Soothsaying and Heart's Whisper back into my deck. This Thunderfield Seer was Winter Moon, so it's going to draw us a card. Start with there. We immediately redrew the empowered Soothsaying because we're a champion. So we'll draw 5, discard 2 now. If we hit a... Geez, maybe I should have put the Violet's Curse back in my deck. We could kill them this turn. Let's do the time warp again. Soothsaying. Do I want to Dread End or do I want to try and kill them? I feel like I'm not playing this deck to not try and kill them. There's the bounty of the Magus. Oh, let's do that. I need to do this. Find a bounty here. Not find a bounty. We did, however, find a Runebind, which means we're not getting Culmination next turn, which feels good. I can ditch this. I can ditch this. I can ditch this. And then next turn, our chances of comboing are really good. Sure. We're not looking to draw caresses yet. Like next turn, and never break eye contact. Yep, I don't need this Dread End. This Dread End is a backup plan. This Dread End is a backup plan that I no longer need. You are dying on my next turn. My opponent is going to lose the game on our next turn. I'm gonna Violet's Caress them here. We are gonna draw. This is Prophesize 2, so we're gonna draw a bunch of cards next turn. Starting with Bounty of the Magus. Violet's Caress you. Yeah, I think there's a few enough cards in my deck that I want to use these Violet's Caresses kind of aggressively. Empower this. Spend 2. Draw 5. And both my combo cards are free at this point. In these ice, because I don't need those at this point. This Bounty of the Magus draws 4 cards. At this point, we're basically just going to pick up our entire deck, casting these Violet's Caresses as we go. We're going to keep bountying whenever we can. You want to just keep using your bounties as your first draw spell until you can't play them because they're going to deck you. There's a storm a-brewing, ladies and gentlemen. Don't deck yourself. Solid advice. Alright, deal 3 to you with this. This bounty draws. This might be the last bounty we can cast, actually. This bounty draws 7. So there's one of these that draws 8. Thought I had a bounty that drew 8. It must be in my deck. Alright, so play this bounty that draws 7. Hopefully we find all 3 of our caresses in here. We did not find all 3 of our caresses, but we should have enough other draw cards at this point to burn through them. So we'll go ahead and caress you. And I'll caress you. I actually can't cast Bounty of the Magus anymore because this draws 8 cards, and there are only 7 cards in my deck. Oh, did I board? I boarded one out, didn't I? Oh, I'm so dumb. I'm so dumb and greedy. Man, I'm so dumb and greedy. I forgot I boarded one out. Yeah, could you imagine playing this deck? Actually, on the PS4, it's probably not too bad, right? Because you get to, like, navigate through your hand. That's fine. We should be fine here. I definitely should not have discarded a Caress because I didn't realize that they're dead. But I shouldn't have discarded a Caress because I didn't realize that I only had 3. Alright. Just keep pressing you. Don't click on Bounty the Magus by mistake. They have some pictures of the UI, but the release date is a week from today, I believe. It was supposed to be today originally, but they had some pushback on things they had to do for Sony. Alright. Yeah, I think this is just a submit. I think I like how we boarded. Yeah, I don't need another Caress. We just killed them with 2. 3 Caresses is fine. God, my arms are sore. Yeah, that's actually probably true. It might be a little bit slower, but it's probably more precise. It's not even a guarantee that it's slower, really. Yes, you will be able, your accounts are separate between the PlayStation and the PC, but you can play between the PlayStation and the PC. I think this hand's fine. I get to bounty on 3. Hopefully they don't kill me before this Dread End on 5 is good. I'm just gonna stack a bunch of resources on top of my deck here, so I can hopefully guaranteed play this Dread End on 5. I mean, that game kind of gave me confidence that, like, they're gonna need to Withering Gaze multiple of them. This is their most aggressive. Honestly, the turn, if we don't hit a Lullaby here, the turn 5, I think I need to Soothsaying here to try and work towards a Lullaby. That's really bad for us. Probably just gonna be too slow. Turn 5 being our first interaction against their most aggressive start on the draw is not gonna be good enough. They didn't say there won't be merged accounts long term. They said to start, there won't be. It sounded like there were details that they had to overcome to make account merging possible, and they didn't want to hold up the release that was technically, like, all the technical aspects of it were ready, other than your accounts could be linked based on the fact that, like, you couldn't link accounts right from the start. It's not a Lullaby, so we are dead. Good games, opponent. It's possible I should mulligan that hand. It's just, like, not keepable on the draw. Very, very possible. Oh no! A Wintermoon Mirror! They're probably playing the control deck. Keep. Hopefully this is not going to be a game where we learn how much worse Arcane Focus is than Guidance. Normal people times suck. My streams would be much later if I didn't have children. No! Arcane Focus, why you do this to me? Why? Why, puppy? Oh no. Oh no. We tried so hard. We laughed, we cried, we laughed some more. Mind Call. We might be playing a combo mirror here. Quad shard it. Right on time. Right on time, Shard of Cunning. Right on time. Turn 3 Locket of Reflection. Alright. Alright, I can dig it. I can dig it. Get in there, get in for those chip shots. You don't want to play more than 6 wells. Honestly, even playing 6 wells is a little bit suspect. The more wells you play, the larger number of unkeepable hands you're going to have. Also, the wells are a little bit suspect because let's say you keep Wild Ice and you Fate Weave into a resource. If you Wild Ice and Fate Weave into a Well of Cunning, you actually can't make a threshold with your Well of Cunning. I'm gonna do this before I do this. Maybe I'm actually supposed to... Maybe I'm supposed to Heart's Whisper this one first since that one is prophesized. Yeah, I'm probably... I feel like they're denying whatever I play there, so my sequencing was incorrect. I think my sequencing was incorrect because they left resources up that turn. I think I should have played this Heart's Whisper, this Heart's Whisper first, and we got punished for it. Oh, this was also a slight mistake. I should have played this and then champ powered in these other things before I did anything here. Let's correct that now. I'll put this in. Actually, I probably would want to put free Arcane Focuses into my deck. And play this Syzygy out and then play this Theorize. Deep Freeze, sure. This is really cute that they get to power all their stuff up here. Draw a bunch, yep. Discard that. I'm not really looking for anything in particular with this Arcane Focus yet. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and pass the turn here. Ooh. We just dead? Yeah, we're just dead. Alright. You specs confirmed, great. Withering Gaze sounds great. I don't know if this is actually a Lullaby matchup. I feel like it's not. I feel like it's not. Alright, if we blaze out of this match too, we're probably going to switch to something else, because I don't want to fry my ladder rank too much, because we're not that high right now. Do you have some sort of Runebind guide? I've been playing this game for 2 months, and I might ask Hex Primal or the main site if they want to publish that. I feel like I could write 1,000 words or more on all the applications of Runebind in various decks in various situations, just like a dozen different Runebind examples and a dozen different, like, these cards synergize with Runebind, these are the common uses. Like, I wonder if that's the case. I feel like it probably is. Yeah, we're done with Magic for the day, JMP. Magic, usually do Magic first in the mornings. Well, I think I might push my schedule around a little bit again. The 7 a.m. Magic streams have been a little bit brutal, and I think they're a little bit too early for a lot of people. Hands like draws cards, I guess. Put a non-resource on top here. If I brick on resources, I can use Heart's Whisper to find a fourth. Kinda want a Syzygy with this hand. Correct, yes. Honestly, like, when they spoiled Runebind, I was like, okay, that's kind of cool, I guess. Like, I did not think it was going to be nearly as powerful it was as having played with it. Can't power these Dorkos back in. It's like a relatively low... I don't know. So, like, honestly, like, once you're set up to go, streaming isn't that much work. And I can, like, even if my kids are being really... Oh, I was talking and clicking. I should have Fate Weaved a resource with that Arch Whisper. That was a punt. Even when my kids are, like, streaming and being obnoxious in the background... Correct, yeah, that's exactly it. You don't get to play Hex while you do it, and it's difficult to monetize. Like, the people that have, like, successful podcasts that they monetize, like, they work at that stuff for a long time. They work at it for so, like, I would have sequenced differently this turn if I would have gotten a resource with the Heart's Whisper last turn. Now I have to move to hand size. I guess it's, like, not a big deal, because, like, this Violet's Caress doesn't do a whole lot. But, like, I would have gotten to Withering... I guess it's kind of a big deal, right? Because they're going to play a Locket here, and I could have Withering Gaze to lock it. We did not win the first game. They locketed into double all-use specs, and then killed us on 6 with the double all-use specs. Alright, show me what you're working with. You have Confounding Ire, Sapphire's Favor. I guess Sapphire's Favor and it's Prophesized. Yeah, I'll take Sapphire's Favor. And grab a resource with this. I'm gonna do this again. Now I'm gonna wait on that actually so I can, I'm not gonna play this because I don't want whatever I play to get buried. Syzygy is more than good. It's great. This gives them a chance to draw more, what's it called? Draw more things, disrupts. Like, every modern digital TCG Hex is completely free to play if you want it to be. You create an account for free, and then you can grind the in-game resources using the free cards that they give you and turn that into other cards. Hex, unlike a lot of digital card games, also has a full buy, sell, trade secondary market, so if you do decide to put money into it, your money's not just gone. You can trade and sell decks for other decks and other cards, which is nice. So, I'm going to play this Syzygy, and then I'm going to play this Withering Gaze. Nah, I'm going to lead on the focus here, try and find a resource. Perfect. Fate Weave another resource at the top of my deck here. I feel like that's my bottleneck at this point. I'm going to go ahead and put these focuses back into my deck since they're now free. They'll be free draw too. I mean, that's literally every free-to-play game, Sione. Like, I really hate when Hex players are like, yeah, but you have to spend a lot of time grinding to, like, have a competitive deck. You have to spend a lot of time grinding in every game to have a competitive deck. That's not exclusive to Hex. That's, playing things for free-to-play, like, takes a while. Yes, it is a trading card game. Hearthstone is a collectible card game. This is a trading card game. Goopy cat. Goopy cat, yeah. Goopy cat, goopy cat, yeah. If we find a Runebind, we're gonna Runebind this. So we can replay it. That's annoying. Maybe I should have let on Withering Gaze there. God, that card is so much worse than Guidance. It is unreal. It is unreal how much worse that card is than Guidance. Just ridiculously unreal how much worse that card is than Guidance. Can we need like a Arcane Focus was worse than Guidance counter for this stream, I feel like. We need some space to see the gameplay, right? Bob with the real truths. Oh. Yep. All right. Well, the good news is since they interrupted this, I can empower this and hopefully loot away some of these shards. Sweet. All right. Bin that. Bin that. Alright, you always want to be conscious of what you're losing here. I've got 4 Caresses, so I've got 3 Caresses still in my deck because there's 1 in my bin. Second Syzygy is actually decent for us because we have these 3 drops in our hand. Halt is amazing. That means we'll get to empower this next one, which is nice. I'm gonna pass here, just leaving up Halt and Runebind because I would like to Runebind their next Mad Robomancer, ideally, because with double Syzygy set up here, we can likely combo them next turn. Worth noting that Halt counters Pipit Hustler. Yeah, that's fine. I don't really care about that. I don't care about that either. Have all the Mad Robomancers you want. I'm gonna combo you long before multiple Robomancers are relevant or not. You thought that card was Dispel, didn't you, Bob? You thought that card was Dispel. It's amazing what happens when you read the cards that you're playing. It truly is. Alright, and I wanted 1 resource there. Didn't really want 2, but, you know, beggars can't be choosers. Let's go ahead and put these Heart's Whispers that are free back into my deck, because that's great. Go ahead and play Arcane Focus. Hopefully we can combo them this turn. There's a Bounty of the Magus. There's a Soothsaying. Alright, bounties are free. So I'm going to Runebind my bounty in response here. Yeah, I can empower this one, and then I can empower this one, and then when I play this one, it's going to make this one cheaper. I don't need this Halt at this point. Again, just literally need to write an article about all of the Runebind plays that you could make. Because the card is great. It's more than good. It's great. Alright, let's grab the Violet's Caress here. Let's go ahead and caress them. So both my combo cards are now free. I'm gonna go ahead and Heart's Whisper for... let's focus first here. Yep, perfect. This is why we focus first, because we hit a resource, which lets us recast this bounty, which draws us a card. Let's go ahead and Heart's Whisper for non-resources at this point. There's a storm a-brewing. Huh, at this point, I really need to hit a bounty, so I'm going to go ahead and play this empowered one. Hopefully we don't brick here. Sweet. Woo! Bound a bounty. Alright, so let's go ahead and get these Violet's Caresses back into my deck. Play this bounty for 4 cards. This only draws 3. That's probably fine. Let's do this. I only need to draw 1 more Caress, right? Draw 1 more Caress, and I've got a Bounty plus a Theorize here. Yep. Sweet. Smooches! Alright, yep, submit. Do I want the Psychic Ascension? Probably not. I don't even know why it's in my board, really. You know, and this is why, I don't know if this deck is very good or not, but like, it's fun. The games where you win are just, they're such a gas. I enjoy picking up my entire deck and counting and just, you know, God bless my opponent being a trooper letting us click through it there. If you don't enjoy clicking through the combo, you shouldn't play this deck. I enjoy picking all the cards up. It's just good clean hexing right there. Good clean some hex between two consenting adults. Some good hex between two consenting adults. Alright, sorry. I was, believe it or not, Wizards of the Coast has made another horrible decision, and I had to blast them on Twitter for it. And thankfully, this decision is so horrible that everyone is blasting them on Twitter for it. This hand is like, has our thresholds, but no charges. They pulled support from the just go read the link. It's just like one of those. Oh, Watsy. You do you, Watsy, because you, yeah. Oh no! That's the shame concede, right? Oh no, I was talking about blasting Watsy, and then we made a wild threshold, and then we played a well of cunning. Oh no! Oh no!